Hello, welcome to tonight's instalment of Break Off. This is our review of semi-final Saturday. Now, while the dust and the coverings are just settling on the second semi-final, that gives us an opportunity to reflect on the first. Remember, this was the match everybody wanted to see. The defending champion, the Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan, against the world #1 Neil Robertson. They had both come through their quarter-finals 6 frames to 1. What odds on the same scoreline today? But that's exactly what happened. Neil Robertson, the Australian, deposing Ronnie O'Sullivan on home turf, and these were his thoughts after the match. Whoever wins out of Mark Allen and Shaun Murphy, not only are you world #1, but you'll have the belief and the confidence that you can make a second Masters title your own.
Yeah, of course. I mean, 3 out of 4 finals here at Alexandra Palace. I love the venue. I get really good support even today. And yeah, to be the first player to beat Ronnie in a semi-final here at the Masters is incredible. So, he's been a wonderful champion here, and he's won the tournament many times. I'm going to try and do my best to win this tournament as many times as I can as well.
Well, an absolutely brilliant performance by Neil Robertson, and among the people spellbound by the Australian is Ivan Hirsch, Chief Press Officer for World Snooker. Always loves his TV cameos. Ivan, nobody would have predicted 6-1, I don't think, at all, especially with the level of support that was there for O'Sullivan all the way through the match.
Yeah, I think everybody felt that Robertson had a chance and he could run Ronnie close, certainly. But no, like you say, very, very few people have expected Robertson to run away with it. But I mean, it was a big occasion. He was the one who stepped up to the plate. He started off with a century. He said afterwards he put Ronnie under pressure from the start, kept his foot on the gas, won 2 crucial frames to go 2-0 and 3-0 up. I think that was really the key part of the match. And then just played solid snooker after the interval. And yeah, I think in his 2 matches against Robertson, against O'Sullivan and Carter, that's some of the best snooker he's ever played in his career. And yeah, you've got to make him favourite for the final tomorrow.
One of the interesting things about Robertson is that he does appear to be a very laid-back character, and there are all these legendary stories about him pitching up at 1 minute to 9 before a match begins. But beneath that cool, calm facade, there must beat the heart of a really intense competitor, because to take on Ronnie and his reputation and the crowd, who were mostly against Robertson to begin with, that takes a real nerve and a real steel.
Yeah, I suppose it's the perfect combination, isn't it? To be very, very laid back away from the table, but as soon as you get onto it, be incredibly competitive and incredibly focused, and he deals with pressure situations very well. Yeah, like you say, he is very laid back. He does sometimes turn up 1 minute before a match, but once he gets out there, he's very focused. And I thought his demeanour today was confident. He tried to sort of dominate the table. He tried to control the pace of the match. He was very, very, you could see his confidence just walking around the table and his body language. He approached it in exactly the right way, and he did a great job.
He certainly did. So Neil Robertson through to another Masters final. He'll be hoping for title #2. Before we focus on the evening semi-final, always nice to take a gander around the Ali Pali crowd and pick out 1 or 2 familiar faces, and we had an opportunity to do that earlier this afternoon. Well, it's amazing who you can see in the crowd here at snooker, especially when you've got the Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan, the defending champion, up against the world #1 Neil Robertson. We've got Gem Archer from Oasis, and we've got Andy Goldstein, Sky Sports snooker presenter. Right, Gem, let's start with you first of all. Is this your first time at live snooker as opposed to watching on the box?
Yeah, totally. I am watching on the box as well, but yeah, of course, man. Yeah, first time.
And have you been a snooker fan for a while? What was the reason for wanting to come to this match? Was it just perhaps the draw of Ronnie?
It was that yellow we fluked in. Seriously. And I rang him up and I went, "Did you see that?" And he went, "Yeah, do you want to go?" And I went, "If you can do that again, absolutely."
Well, I have to say, I mean, you would back me up on this, Andy. He couldn't make that shot again 98 times out of 100. But what a way for the record to come about.
I had to convince Gem that it was a fluke. He was no. He went for it, and I was like, "No, I mean he's that good, but that was a fluke."
I even remember the commentator going, "Well, there's 6 pockets on this table." Yeah. So there's something else I've learned.
On a slightly more serious note, it's when people come for the first time, they sometimes are surprised at how much pressure the players feel when it's so quiet and the cameras are rolling. Has it given you an added dimension of appreciation to what these guys have to do on the table?
Without a doubt. I was just saying out there, one of the things I saw was when you see on the screen the shot and the angle, it looks a lot straighter than what it is. And I'm freezing, man, but my hands are sweating. Like, it's just, yeah, It's a weird kind of pressure. It's kind of like, does anybody use the word zen around here?
Well, they do now.
Yeah.
And again, with regards to Ronnie, the man is worshipped here. I mean, you've had plenty of massive introductions in your time, but you really do get a sense that this is a home tournament for him, don't you?
Yeah, of course, man. And I would never say I'm a snooker expert. I'm not a sport expert or anything, but the guy's got an aura. That's the way I see it, you know. And, you know, obviously, it's weird to see somebody at the top of their game, and I like that kind of, I don't know what you call it, the air of anything could happen. Like that last frame, he just leant over and he went 147 here, and that kind of. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a 148.
I do. So, you know, I do so on every visit when there's no reds there when one is at the table.
But yeah, you know, people used to talk back in the day of real stars and personalities and all that and everything, and people shouldn't forget that lingo.
Great to see a few famous new converts to the sport of snooker, and why not on a brilliant day like this. So, Neil Robertson through to the final. Who would he face? It was Shaun Murphy against Mark Allen, and once again, just as he did against Stephen Maguire in the quarter-final, Shaun turning round a 2-frame deficit to beat one of his best mates 6 frames to 2. He's desperate for the Triple Crown, and he's earned himself another opportunity. A fantastic victory. He's come through a really, really hard week. These were the thoughts of the magician after the match. It hasn't all been plain sailing for you in the last couple of years, but something seems to really have clicked back into place in the last sort of 8-9 months, especially in Europe, the 3 147s last year. What's changed, or what's working now that wasn't before?
There's a couple of things. I mean, you know, I went back to basics and just decided to work my way out of trouble. You know, this time last year I was considering going off and doing other things, even, you know, contemplated retirement at one point because I was so low with snooker. But I combated that with some hard work and practiced really, you know, hours and hours and hours on my game. And also, you know, a few of my friends made the comment that, you know, I don't play like I used to play, which was this attacking, you know, quite aggressive style of play. Yeah, leaving myself open to shots, but, you know, that's the way I've always played from being a young boy. So I just decided to go back to that. That's my strength, and it's got me this far.
Let's look ahead to the final. It's a great contest, especially if you both play as well as you have done in your respective semi-finals, and of course a rerun from a few years ago. It's got a little bit of everything, this match.
Absolutely. I mean, we know each other very, very well off the table. I've got an immense respect for Neil and what he's achieved in the game already. You know, he's going to go down as one of the legends of the sport. Of that, there is no question. He fully deserves that title. But, you know, I've got to stand there tomorrow and try and beat him. And it's a tough job. But I'm here, I've come through the mill a little bit in this tournament, and I'm going to give it everything.
Well, Shaun Murphy, a fantastic performance, but perhaps, Ivan, just talking his chances down a bit, but he absolutely deserves another opportunity and another crack at the Masters. He was superb tonight at times.
Yeah, he said in his press conference afterwards that he thinks Robertson's a massive favourite tomorrow. He thinks the Triple Crown is something being created by the media, but I think that's quite a typical defence mechanism from Shaun, and in reality, he will really, really believe that he can win tomorrow. I think it's going to be a classic final. I think they're both going to go for their shots. I wouldn't be surprised to see 5 or 6 centuries in the match. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's going to be absolutely superb. Thanks very much, Ivan. That wraps things up for this edition of Break Off. It's a rerun tomorrow of the 2012 Masters final. The world #1 Neil Robertson against the magician Shaun Murphy. £200,000 at stake and the prestigious title. It could be absolutely epic. We cannot wait. We'll be back here at Ali Pali for the big one. BBC 2, 1 o'clock, and it's on Eurosport as well. We will see you tomorrow.